Hey, come on. It's your girl Kristina, come on.
Say what?
Hey, oh.
That's right.
Kristina Roberts Show. Hey, it's your girl Kristina.
Come through.
On the radio. Kristina Roberts Show. Hey, come on. Kristina Roberts Show. Kristina on your radio. Kristina Roberts Show. Kristina on your radio. A nightly talk show where anything goes. No topic untouched. We have you saying shame on it all. No other like her on the radio. So get in the zone. She's on the microphone. Let's hang with Kristina. Roberts Show. Kristina on your radio.
Welcome to the Kristina Roberts Show, brought to you by Rolling Out Presents. I'm very delighted to have one of my close friends here today as my guest. Her name is Nicola Mitchell, and I want her to introduce herself and tell you a little bit about what she does.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicola Mitchell. I am the founder of Girls Who Brunch Tour, and I am one of the Miss Kristina Roberts, aka Zane's biggest fans. I am honored to be here. I am a writer, I'm a philanthropist, I'm a publisher, and I am just the creator of Girls Who Brunch, the topic of why we're here today.
Great. So how old is Girls Who Brunch?
We have just kicked in our 5th year.
Great. Yeah, I'm very, very proud of you. You see, I got on my t-shirt.
I know.
I'm representing. So tell everybody a little bit about your background and what made you want to form the organization.
I created Girls Who Brunch because I was an at-risk kid. I came to America at 9 years old, and that was traumatic already, just meeting my mother for the first time after 9 years. And then I was raped multiple times between the age of 14 to 16 by my choir director and some close family members. And the entire time I was lost and frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And someone named Dr. Sullivan from the Upward Bound program, he believed in me and instilled in me, the tools to let me know that I can make it and I'm an overcomer. And that always stuck with me. So now that I became Nicola Mitchell, the writer, I always said I was going to come back and give to the girls, but I never did it. And in 2016, my mother passed away, and I was 7 months pregnant. I lost my son, and they passed away in like a 2-week window. Mm-hmm. And I was really lost at that time. So I told myself that, I had to get under something. It's like when you write a book, you write the best books when you're in pain and when you're
Absolutely.
hurt. So This organization was created out of pain. But look at it now. We've serviced almost 17,000 girls nationwide. So who would have thought?
Yeah, and I think we met when you were pregnant. Mm-hmm. We did, yeah. So I remember that happening, and so sorry about that.
Yeah.
So my next question is, so you say you service about 17,000 girls. Mm-hmm. In how many different cities?
We're in 21 cities.
Okay,
21 cities.
Great. And where was your flagship city? Was it Atlanta or was it Vegas? Because I know you have a history with Vegas.
Funny story. The first city was Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
And that city was important because I had a book event, and this organization brought the girls to the Barnes and Nobles, and these little girls never even seen an African American author. Mine is a female one inside of a bookstore. Right. And so I love girls, so I kind of got off track with the book signing, and we went to Starbucks. I was going to order them everything, and they didn't know what Starbucks was, so I said, I'll order you a pizza. And in 2016, these girls didn't know pizza came in a box.
Wow.
And so I was like, okay. my mom just passed. I was going through it. I was like, well, maybe I need to come back here.
So they didn't know, you mean they had never had a takeout pizza?
No, ma'am. Never
Wow.
had pizza. They're from the Gullah Islands.
Mhm.
And no, they didn't know pizza came in a box.
Oh, wow.
And so I went back to Charleston 3 weeks later. I didn't have a name for the organization. I didn't have a flow, but God don't make any mistakes. I met the superintendent of the school district when I went back.
Right.
And he gave me a school, a community center. Everything was out. I still didn't have a name.
Right.
Had a date. Didn't know what I was going to do. And that's where it was birthed from. In that first event, we had 254 girls.
Oh, wow. Wow. That is interesting that so many young ladies in this day and age don't know certain things.
Yeah. One thing I've learned throughout this duration of this tour in different cities, the struggles in every city. Like I did a school in Detroit last year. They didn't even have central air. So in 2019, we're in this school setting up. There's not a central air conditioning unit in this school. And it was September. It was hot. And these kids are ranked number 3 in the school district.
Wow.
So no matter what they were going through, this was just normal to them. I've been to the jail in Vegas. Most of those girls were 12 to 17, but they were certified as adults. Who, you know, they had their pimps stuff barcode tatted on their face.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Going to prison as adults. So
they would not be eligible to get out when they turn 18 or 21, like, wow.
No.
And they actually had barcodes on their face.
Barcodes tatted on their face.
That's so sad.
One little girl I met, and the crazy part, some of these girls found me, not even Girls Who Brunch, they found me after the event. She thanked me because that was her first time. Her and her little sister were incarcerated at the same time. They put them in different pods. That was the first time she'd seen her sister the whole time that they were there.
How old were they?
She was 15 and her sister was 13.
Wow. That's terrible.
Yeah. So you think, you know, what I went through, I thought that was so detrimental and crazy, but I go to these different cities and these babies' lives made mine look like a walk in the park, you know? And this is just normal to them. So with Girls Who Brunch, I try to bring girls from a normal circumstance and put them with girls who have a harder life and let them see that they can do whatever.
Now, what were the 13 and 15-year-old incarcerated for?
One baby for killing her pimp.
Oh, Lord.
She actually went to prison. The 2 sisters, they went to jail they thought they were going to have sex with these boys. The boys set the house on fire. And so they got charged for that. It was just crazy charges that if you really sit down and think about looking at these kids, they need rehabilitation than jail time.
Right. They're babies.
They're babies. And but some of them are so hardened that you forget that they're babies. Some of them you can't sugarcoat to them. You can't talk to them softly. Some of them are really hard, and you have to just bring them back.
Now, I know this is what a lot of people are going to be wondering that are watching this. Where are their parents? Like this 13 and 14-year-old, these girls, where are their parents?
So the oldest one, she went back to her mother. The father of the youngest one, he came and got her. He got a lawyer and came and got her.
Good.
A lot of them, their parents are there, but their parents don't know. You have to think, like, I had my first daughter, I was 15. Nobody gave me a blueprint on how to be a mother. Nobody gave me a blueprint how to put my children in college, right? So I had the tenacity, though, to want more for my kids. If you don't have that in you and you can't see that that's even possible,
Right.
their parents are just as lost as the girls are.
Right.
And so sometimes I'm like having counseling sessions with the kids and the moms, you know? And it's crazy, but this is their reality. I had a baby call me yesterday. She messaged me on Instagram, was like, can I talk to her? And she was like, you're the only person I feel listens to me. I just feel alone. She said, have you ever felt alone? I'm like, I feel alone all the time. You know, and I talked her through it. And I said, your mom didn't get a blueprint how to be a mom. I said, she's still a woman.
Right.
So you're going to have to tell your mom how you feel, you know, but everybody don't have that. So what do you do when you don't have that?
That's a very good question. So let me ask you, what do they do?
Oh, they come to Girls Who Brunch tour. They get to meet not just us, but we bring the who's who of that community within organizations, within celebrities. We bring all those people in one room, and when they're there, they're able to see that, you know, this celebrity cares about them. This person cares about them. And they're able to just show them that there's life outside of what they're used to. Yeah. So, and bring them there, but outside of Girls Who Brunch, there's other organizations outside of Girls Who Brunch that do the same thing. Just get involved, sign up. I think that's the first step.
So let me ask you a question. What can the average, you know, woman who's sitting at home, who may have kids of her own, who may not have kids of her own, but who has, you know, a great love for making sure that these young girls can survive out here, what can that woman do to get involved or to do something to help somebody?
So if you want to get involved, you can just always sign up at girlswhobrunchtour.com. There's a link that says connect with us. You can be a speaker, but you can donate to us. Like, we do monetary donations, but we also have an Amazon list. So we ask for hygiene products. We ask for school supplies. That's all there. But even if you don't want to give to us directly, if there's girls in your community that you know, give that to them. Take them some panty liners. Take them sanitary napkins. Take them deodorant. You think that these girls, just because they may be dressed up and whatever, they don't have the basic necessities.
Right. I agree. And, you know, that's why I started my group, that life support group that I started with young girls, because I realized a lot of them just have not been taught basic stuff. You know, like with my daughter, I taught her, you know, basic hygiene and explained to her, like, why you have a period and what it is, and, you know, how to take care of yourself and that kind of stuff. But a lot of young girls are not taught that. You know, and like you know, I've dealt with a lot that can't go to sleep because they're worried about whether or not they're going to be touched. You know, their mothers don't believe them when they tell them that something has happened. That kind of thing. But going back to the girls from the Gullah Islands, is that like set apart where, I'm trying to understand how they never heard of Starbucks and didn't know pizza came in a box. I find that fascinating.
With the pizza in the box thing, I just think that there's some girls that are in such rural areas, and not just the Gullah Islands. I've seen kids in other areas that they just don't have, they're not exposed to basic stuff. And I think it's, again, like, Starbucks isn't in the hood, you know, and we go into the hood in every city. And people, like, some of our speakers are like, you know where that's at? Yeah, I know where it's at. I need those girls to be able to walk in, you know, but you don't see a Publix in those areas. You don't see a Starbucks. You see liquor stores. You see basic fast food restaurants. You don't see things that they can get. Now, when you're talking about rural areas on top of that, they may just have like a little corner market and that's it. You know, so I think that's more what it was, but it just shocked the mess out of me. I was like, what? Are you serious? But now nothing shocks me anymore. No, like in that same school in Detroit, I'm in there, there's flies in there. These people looking around, the lunch lady was like, well, if you get some hairspray, it'll kill the flies. I was like, some hairspray kill the flies? They were acting like this was normal. I was like, okay. Note to self, hairspray kills flies, you know?
So in each city you have about, I know all this because I'm on the board, but you service about 200 girls per city?
Yes, ma'am. 250 to 300.
Yeah, and your tour runs from what time to what time? Pretty much year round, though.
Yeah, it's really from June to January, but we do have things that go on year round. And the one here in Atlanta is usually in December or January. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, and so the annual Tutu and Tennis Shoe Gala, which I'm so upset I can't host live this year because I host it every year. Yes, ma'am. We're doing it virtual this year, but can you tell everybody what that's about? So with our Tutus and Tennis Shoes Gala, that's our weekend of giving. Our goal is to raise $25,000 for the weekend. If we raise $25,000, that will give us $1,500 to $2,000 a city to be able to provide the chicken and waffle brunch, the dessert station, the shipping, just everything that we give the girls, hygiene products. And so we have a celebrity basketball game that weekend. We have a day conference, a Get Lit and Fit day conference, and we also have the tutus and tennis shoes gala. We bring in all the girls from across the country. I honor girls, and let me give this disclaimer out because I had to have a very deep conversation with somebody about that. I don't honor girls because of their influencers. I don't honor girls because of how many followers they have. I honor you because how you work within our organization.
Absolutely.
Do you bring girls? Are you helping, mentoring girls? Are you, even if you're not an influencer, have you changed your circumstance where you were a bad kid when you came and now you've involved with...
Because, and I know that to be true because you given some of my girls ambassador awards, and it was because they changed their circumstances.
Exactly.
And not anything about them being popular or anything.
Exactly. I don't care about your popularity. It's how you work within our program. And so given this year, we're honoring 12 people, 6 women, 6 girls. We're giving them laptops. We're giving them gift boxes and just a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, well, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and I want to talk more about that because it's just amazing what you're doing in this age of coronavirus to still make people feel special.
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll be right back with Nicola Mitchell on the Kristina Roberts Show. Welcome back to Rolling Out Presents the Kristina Roberts Show. I'm here with my guest, Nicola Mitchell, the founder of the Girls Who Brunch Tour, who's a dear friend of mine and who I just feel like is so amazing. You know, I always cry when I talk about you, but we were talking about the annual Weekend of Giving. And this year you're doing something very special. Like by the time this airs, the people will have known. But can you tell everybody what you're doing because we have to do it virtually? I'm still gonna wear my tutu though.
Yeah, I'm wearing my tutu as well. So because we have to do this virtually, I didn't want it. I'm like kind of over the virtual events. So, and now that we're doing the tour virtually, I'm like, how can we make it exciting? So I didn't want them to miss out. So the girls are still getting a dinner delivered to them on Sunday. Their favorite restaurants are going to be delivered to them. They're getting desserts delivered to them.
And this is in the different cities?
Yeah, there are 12 cities. So there's 6 women, 6 girls. They're across the country from New Jersey all the way to Las Vegas. They're getting dinner delivered. They're getting desserts delivered. We have, shout out to Kat Graham. She sponsored and she assisted with getting the personalized gift boxes, balloons, and a bag full of things. We have shout out to Build-A-Bear, Top Golf, and L'Oreal Paris. These are all our sponsors, and they're getting a box full of stuff, masks, hygiene products, and the girls are all getting touchscreen laptops.
That is wonderful. And you're doing roll-ups on people.
Yes.
I get to do one on Wednesday. I'm so excited to go give out their awards.
Yeah, so it's been so funny. Yeah, so we're going to do a bloopers reel of it because these people it's hard to surprise folks, y'all.
Yeah.
It's hard to surprise them, and they're making it so hard. But once they get it, we tell them they're getting a photo shoot. There's a photographer coming. And I personally delivered 2 so far, but we have people all across the country doing the deliveries.
Yeah, that's great. That's really, really great. So speaking of L'Oreal, you recently won a very big award, which I was honored to be one of the people to nominate you for. Can you tell everybody what award you won and how that impacted the organization?
L'Oreal Paris' 2019 Woman of Worth. There are 10 of us, and I'm one of the 10. They gave us a $10,000 grant for our nonprofit, and it was, when I got the award, I was just like, first of all, I didn't think I was going to get the award.
I knew you were going to get it.
And then when I
I knew you were going to get it. I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but I'm a writer, so I knew you were going to get it.
Because you kept me calm. You kept saying, just calm down, just wait.
Yeah.
But then it was bigger than the grant. L'Oreal really brought me and the organization into the family. Everybody from L'Oreal has worked with us, even all the way to the director have worked with us with Girls Who Brunch. They have supported us, and they've just helped spread the word of this organization.
Yeah,
so I'm forever
great.
grateful.
Yeah, it was great. And they had a big ceremony in New York.
Yes.
And I think you went to LA too.
Yes,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Crystal. Shout out to beautiful spirited women. Crystal Chapman. They flew her and I to L.A. to the Essence Black Women Hollywood dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and they rolled out the red carpet from anytime they do anything for us. We're car serviced in all the way back home.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an amazing experience, and I've written books. I've done so many different things, but I've never been treated like this. And I'm getting this from giving back, from doing good. Like,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, well, you deserved it. I have to tell everybody a funny story. So, when Nicola won this award, when she was nominated for it, they asked me to be on camera.
Right.
To talk about her in the organization. So, Nicola was like, "Can you be at this address, such a day, such a time?" And I was like, "Okay." And then I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's for L'Oreal. I better have my makeup better be on point." So, I'm thinking, if they're taping me, I better have... I got there, so I was all worried about my makeup. I get there. It was, I swear, this size of this table, at least like 2/3 of this table, there was a guy there, a makeup artist with... The table was like 2/3 of this size, full of makeup, and I'm sitting there looking stupid. Like, I should have realized if L'Oreal's the one, like taping us, that they would have. That's how crazy. That's how confused I was. But anyway, it was funny. I thought that was a funny story. I show up, and the guy's like taking my makeup off to put my makeup on. It was funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm very proud of it. So tell everybody about your other career, your writing career.
Okay, so I'm more than the Girls Who Brunch tour lady. I am a writer. I have 17 books. I've helped over 900 authors and publishers put books out, from Omar Tyree, Aaron Afalo, the basketball player, the U.S. Dreams Academy. They hire me to put together their projects, and I've also published 125 books under my company.
Okay, and the name of your company?
My company is NCM Books, and I'm switching over from traditional publishing to just consulting publishing, just because now with Kindle and KDP, I feel like a lot of authors do not understand like what back in the day authors went through.
Yes.
So I think I'd rather provide services than continue the traditional route. And I don't have the time anymore to nurture an author like I used to. So
no, that's a very good point, because I stepped down officially full time from being a publisher, although I still am technically the publisher of my imprints. But much the same like you. So what do you think the difference is between now and even 5 years ago for authors? And not just black authors, just authors in general, because I think a lot of times people try to generalize it. I was having this conversation with somebody yesterday and saying, it's so hard for black books, or it's so hard for black books to be turned into movies. But if you look at the percentage-wise, as the number of white books that are turned into movies, it's not easy to have that happen either. They make it seem like, I don't want people to feel like they're handicapped specifically because they're a black author.
Right.
But what do you feel like are the biggest differences between now and 5 years ago?
Between now and 5 years ago, Amazon and KDP and CreateSpace really like killed the game, but it also killed the beauty of publishing. People start dropping books that are not edited, that are not whatever, and they feel like that is quality work, whereas a author back in the day hustled. I remember being on the corner in DC and New York selling the books with the DC Bookman, DC Book Diva. Nobody really understands that grind anymore.
Right.
And so I think that's the difference, because you could have got a book deal, a movie deal, or even a book deal before, but you had to show, even like Omar Tyree, he was selling books out the car and everything before he got his first book deal. These new wave authors just want to put the book up, don't do a book signing, don't do anything, and just wait for their check to come in. That's not realistic.
Yeah, they don't understand at all. There really is a difference between being a writer and being an author, and I say that all the time. When we write, we're alone. We're just sitting there. A lot of writers are introverts. I'm an introvert like 65% of the time, and then I'm outgoing the other 35%. But they don't realize the author is a personality. You have to, people have to want to purchase your book. So I understand, because like one time we did the Baltimore Book Festival, my imprint, and on Friday night I went out there and everybody was sitting behind the tables like prima donnas and stuff, waiting for people to approach them. So I checked, I peeped it. And the next morning when they came out there, all the chairs were gone. The tables were pushed back to the back of the tent, and I forced them to stand up and promote their books.
Yeah.
You know, and talk to people. So yeah, you're right. A lot of people just think they can write a really great book, but then at the same time, like you said, a lot of them are cutting corners. They're just putting the book out. The editing is horrible. The grammar is horrible. And they get offended when people say stuff about it. Yeah.
I'm over that. I'm like, you right, sis.
Right. Don't even argue with them about it.
Yeah.
You know, but the other thing that I know, having published 100 and over 120 authors myself, and over probably 900 books at this point, is that maybe 20% appreciated it. Maybe 20.
I just told your daughter
the other, no. You know, didn't appreciate all the stuff that I did, the time I sacrificed that I could have been spending on my own career, because it's a lot of work.
It is. You forget how to be the talent. Like, I'm so used to like being behind somebody and like trying to position you and teach you how to be, that sometimes I forget when I'm the talent. Like, oh yeah, I am coming to be the talent today. Right. And if I really would have this whole time gave myself that time to be the
concentrated
talent,
on your own brain.
like what would I be right now?
Right.
So that's where my mindset is, and I want to grow Girls Who Brunch, and now I'm dropping some new projects. I got a book called What Was I Supposed to Do? It's talking about the low-income family. This girl, she finds out in COVID that she's pregnant by her mother's boyfriend, and she goes to jail. She meets a person like me in jail. I help her get out, and it just tells everything that happens. And at the end, I see her again. She's back incarcerated, and the first thing she said was, "What am I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do?"
Oh, wow. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's really heavy.
So that's, because I'm hearing all these stories, and like COVID is hitting. These kids were already from dysfunctional situations.
Yeah, it's made it worse for the
They don't have devices. They don't have internet.
They're stuck in the house with their abusers.
They're stuck in the house with their abuser. I can't even guarantee these organizations are going to have the girls at our events virtually. I used to have to fight them to have them there in person. Right. So, yeah, it's tough. It's just a whole new battle.
It's really sad. Yeah. So how do you feel Corona has affected people in other ways? Well, that's definitely one. A lot of people are, stuck in the house with their abusers, not just children, but adults.
I think that Corona it's a good and bad thing. It's making more people aware of stuff, of how the dysfunctions of the world outside of your little space. So many people are at home now. They're not working. They're not bringing in incomes. They're now being able to relate to some of these other people's struggles
that they probably looked down on before.
Exactly. And I'm not going to say it's an African American thing, because like we are open to all girls, and honest to God, in every city, most of the girls who are in the group homes in situations are Caucasian girls. Most of our girls who are rescued from the sex trade, they're all girls. It's not a color line.
Right.
So
you're right about that.
It's just a thing that I think people are more aware now.
Because I used to also have a boys mentorship program, but I had men that ran, and my son and some other men, and they had boys from a group home, and it was a mixture, but mostly Caucasian boys when the group homes here in Atlanta.
I have a group home in Jacksonville that the girls are in protective custody from their parents, and I remember the first year we did Girls Who Brunch, she didn't remember. She was like, I don't remember the name they told me to say. So.
Wow, that is crazy. So where can people find you? Where can they locate you?
You can check me out at I am Nicola. That's NICOLA.com. You can follow us on everything at Girls Who Brunch Tour. And if you click on Girls Who Brunch Tour, you can find our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and you can also donate. We accept donations by PayPal at paypal.me/GWBT. We have Cash out, we accept everything. But again, if you don't want to help financially, you can help us just by being a mentor, going to our Amazon cart, purchasing something from there. There's always to help.
Yeah, well, I definitely, of course, am a big proponent of it being that I'm on the board, and I can testify that, every dime does go to help these young girls. And you put money out your own pocket to, yes, to help the young girls. And that's why I'm glad you won the L'Oreal thing. And yeah, and you also got some money from the Steve Harvey Foundation, Steve and Marjorie Harvey Foundation.
Yes, Steve and Marjorie, they sponsored us. They gave us $5,000. So thank you to Steve and Marjorie. Thank you to Kat Graham. Thank you to L'Oreal. And thank you to you. And I know there's going to be bigger donations and funders and to come.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you very much for being on the Kristina Roberts Show. I appreciate you.
Yes, girl.
And I'll see you soon in my tutu.
Yes, girl. I'll see you Wednesday.
Yeah, you see me Wednesday. Do I need to wear the tutu that day too?
No.
Okay.
We ain't going to do the
I'll
tutu.
see you. We're going to roll up on, I can say
Mako
the Mako. I say the name because they'll know by then. We're going to roll up on the Mako girls and give them their presents and stuff. And then on the day of our virtual tutu and tennis shoe gala, they'll have dinner and desserts delivered to them. And so we're just very excited, looking forward to it.
Yay, Girls Who Brunch.
Girls Who Brunch. See, I got my shirt on and everything. I'm promoting. I got my shirt on.
I ain't got my shirt on.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
So this is the Area Justice Podcast Show, which is a segment of the Kristina Roberts Show brought to you by Rolling Out. So today, my guest is Braden Jenkins. He is the owner of X-Lens Productions. So Braden, tell the audience about yourself and what you do.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. First of all, I appreciate it. Like she said, my name is Braden Jenkins, and pretty much I am a film director. I am a videographer, editor, and I own my own production company. I started back in 2015 called X-Lens Productions, and pretty much what we do is it's really built off of the story of me just starting as a videographer and making my way through the industry and just always having those doors kind of closed in on me. And I decided to create those opportunities for myself. So with that being said, 2015, I'm starting working with people, networking with people. I'm from PG County, from the DMV, a black man just trying to do something. So that's pretty much how it started, from doing web series to reality shows to then starting to do short films and movies. And then, woo, now we're here.
Now we're here, 2020. So what is your most favorite project that you have worked on over the years, since 2015? Do you have one?
My most favorite, I kind of have two. Can I pick two?
Yes, you can pick two.
Okay. So the first one I'm going to go with is back in 2018. Well, actually, yeah. Well, it's the same year. So 2018, I feel like that's when I was at I'm still at my highest, but I feel like at that particular time, that's when I kind of arrived in a way, as far as like everybody wanted to work with me. How do I get in contact with them? All this stuff. So I was juggling three projects that year. So I was doing 2 reality shows on top of doing my first film that's on Amazon Prime called Should Could Dream.
Okay.
And so that would be the first project, Should Could Dream. And pretty much that follows a stage play that was created by this guy named Dwayne Miko from PG County. Right. And pretty much the stage play, he travels all over the world to all these different, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and even colleges. And basically, the play is to motivate you to follow your dreams and never give up in life. And, you can go through things and you might have hurdles and struggles, but still being strong and, still going after what you feel like you're destined to do and be.
That sounds like a really good project. And what was your other favorite one?
The second one, thank you. The second one was the reality show that I was shooting that year. I was shooting the second season of the reality show called The Real Makeup Artists of DC.
Okay.
And that was created by the great Ty Cobb. She was a makeup artist and does a lot of TV personality things as well. And she just came to me, and I mean, we were coming off the success of last year in 2017 with the first season, and then 2018 was the second season. So
Okay.
it's kind of like I had a reality show that was in demand on top of doing the film, traveling to Africa, all this stuff going on.
Oh, how was Africa?
Africa was a beautiful experience. We like I said, we went out there for about 10 days. Shooting the movie Should Could Dream, and it was a really good experience. We went to South Africa.
Okay.
And it was a really good experience. The food, the music, and it's just crazy. It was definitely a culture shock and really, really mind changing.
Let me ask you this. What other countries would you like to film in?
Other country I would like to film in. I wouldn't mind going to South America,
Okay.
or maybe the UK.
Okay. You would like to film there?
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be nice.
Yeah.
A nice vacation. Like, but yeah, it would be really good to shoot down there. Just experience those different cultures and meet the people and see the landmarks and film a movie.
That sounds really dope. And so can you tell everybody how you came up with the name Excellence Productions?
Well, I give the credit mainly to my mother. She's actually the one who came up with the name. It happened when we were trying to when I was trying to build my website at the time.
Okay.
And we were typing in names and nothing was really sticking. Normally I use my name, like, you have Spike Lee, a Spike Lee joint, or something like that. So I always wanted to name it like Braden J Productions or Braden CJ Productions or something with my name in it. But the website wouldn't take any of those names. So I don't know how, I mean, she just started going through names and she was like, what about Excellence? And I was like, I don't really like it. I didn't really like it at first, but
it had to grow on you.
Yeah, it had to grow on me for a little while because, I mean, not to be rude, but it sounded like a porn company to me.
Right.
I didn't really like that. I didn't want to give that kind of energy out, but as time went on, it definitely started to grow on me. And with us making the logo and everything, like, it started to actually grow on me. I was like, okay, this is cool.
It started to actually grow on you. And so how does Excellence Production stand out from other production companies? Because there's so many people there's a lot of videographers out here, because you connect through some of them on Instagram. So how does Excellence Production stand out?
That is a good question. How I feel Excellent Production stands out is that mainly me as an editor and a videographer, I really try to bring that, I don't know, always, I guess it comes from me from a young age, always having a love for movies and cinema and things of that nature. I always wanted to make a movie and wanted that feeling, like when you sit down in the theater and you're going to see a film with, you can be by yourself or a significant other, husband, wife, whoever, and you see a trailer for a new movie that's coming out, and it's this anticipation, the feeling that it gives you, the sound effects, everything, and that's the type of that type of feeling that I wanted to bring as a videographer and as an editor when it came to projects and video production that I was taking on at the time.
Okay, yeah, that's really, really good. And also one thing that I know about you is that you're a perfectionist. I feel like that stands out because you try to really make sure that you give someone the quality is better than moving super fast. You may not be the fastest, or there's some videographers out here that may rush and then give someone some messed up footage, or the client may not be happy with the finished product. But with you actually take your time and perfect it. And so has that ever been like a struggle, or what has been your biggest struggle since being a videographer?
Being a perfectionist, as you said, yes, it can be definitely a struggle, because I always want the best quality, the best of everything that I'm doing to come out. And I definitely want the client to be as happy. And I also want to be happy with it as well. But I mean, there's those times where you just kind of have to, they might, in my eyes, I might not like it, but they love it. Right. But I don't think, because I feel like I don't like it, I feel like it's not good enough. So I'm always trying to push myself or push my team and everyone that's around me to really just give 100% every single time, no matter what's going on. And yeah, with that's definitely over the years has been a struggle for me. But I just care that much. I really do care, and I really want it to be the best that it can be. And I want it to be a different experience. Like, I don't want it to look the same as somebody else's project that I might have done in the past. Like, it's always got to have its own legs and crawl on its own. So that's definitely something that I have struggled with in the past, but just a small hurdle. But I'm gonna get past it.
You'll get past it. And so how is it with videography and editing? How are the two things different? Because I know that a lot of people think that everyone who's a videographer or a cinematographer can edit. Now, so what is the difference between that transition for someone that can only just shoot and not edit, or someone that can edit and not really shoot?
Well, I feel when it comes to shooting, I feel like shooting is way easier than editing, because when it comes to editing, it's a different kind of game, because you're sitting down, you have to be organized, you have to have all your footage, you got to get the music, you got to get the sound effects, all of these things go together with editing, depending on what you're editing, or the style of how you like to edit as well. I'm sorry, ask the question again. I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
How is like the transition from videography to editing? Like, let's just take one of your projects, for example. You go out and shoot, and that's the shooting stage. How do you transition to the editing stage? Like, kind of what's that process? Like, how are they two different, things?
Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as shooting, I mean, that's really just, it comes with organization. Like, you have to plan out shots ahead of time before the shoot, and figure out what you're going to do and what shots you're going to get, and then you execute it, and then that's it. Pretty much. When it comes to editing, that becomes another whole ball game, because depending on your style and what you're doing, but if we're talking about me, I have to make sure I have the footage, and you got to wait for the footage to download. Then you get you start pulling the music and all the different things that I would need. And that's also, like we said before, that's where that perfectionist comes in, because you're going to be staying up for a while.
Yeah.
It's not, whereas with shooting, it's kind of like, okay, I need to get this, that. Okay, cool. You go and shoot it, and then that's it. And then whereas with editing, you can create something on film or on camera, but you're literally taking the footage, which is nothing, and then creating and making something out of it.
Right.
That makes sense.
No, that definitely makes sense. That's a really good answer. And so if someone wants to learn how to edit, let's say they're starting out, what's the best software for them to use? If, let's say they don't have a Mac and they don't have an iPhone, because I know iMovie is really good. I actually I'm able to do some stuff in iMovie, but what is a good general software that anybody could use, maybe on any type of computer? What would be your suggestion for someone starting out?
When I first started out, Oh God, that was a long time ago. But to answer your question, I would either say iMovie, or I would say if you feel like you've conquered iMovie and you know all you need to know about iMovie, and it's like, okay, I need something more, then I would say you could leave iMovie alone and then graduate to what I use, which is Final Cut Pro.
Final Cut Pro. Okay. Okay.
Final Cut Pro X, because they have different versions of Final Cut Pro. So
Oh,
Final Cut Pro X, yeah.
Final Cut Pro X. Okay, everybody. So if you want to start editing Final Cut Pro X or use
And iMovie.
and
Mhm.
iMovie. And so if you could start another company, what would it be?
If I could start another company, what would it be? I would probably start maybe an animation studio,
Oh,
because a lot of people don't know that before I got into video and videography and all that stuff, I was an artist. I wanted to be a cartoonist when I grew up. So all of these cartoons, I have notebooks and drawings. Like I could draw Timmy Turner right on the spot, SpongeBob right on the spot. And
wow.
I was always, as a child, with the Pixar movies and Disney and things of that nature. So I always wanted to learn how to make cartoons.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
I didn't even know that about you. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. So animation studio. Well, maybe one day, you can make that happen. And so we're gonna get into a quick break. We'll be right back with the Area Justice Podcast Show. All right, so I'm gonna take like a 10-second break. All right, so these next questions are gonna be a little bit deeper, okay?
Ready a little bit deeper. I'm good. I feel like I'm a veteran at this. I'm
I-
freaking shining. Let me get it going.
Condi, you're gonna edit this out. All right, and go. Welcome back to the Area Justice Podcast Show, a segment of the Kristina Roberts Show brought to you by Rolling Out Magazine. We're back here with owner of Excellence Productions, Braden Jenkins. And so I want to get into some other type of questions outside of business. My first question is, what does work ethic mean to you? And think about Chadwick Boseman and how he was sick pretty much the whole time he acted, and we all did not know. How, thinking about him and just work ethic in general, what does work ethic mean to you?
First of all, rest in peace to that man. A tremendous actor, and I mean, we all went to go see Black Panther, so let's not get it confusing right now.
Actually, I have never seen Black Panther. I know, I've never seen it. I need to go.
Okay, let's move on.
It.
But oh man, when it comes to work ethic, actually, I went through something kind of similar to what he was going through. Not as serious, not colon cancer. I wasn't dying, but when back in 2017, back to that work ethic that we were talking about, that perfection, not work ethic, perfection.
Right.
When I was doing my first reality show, The Real Makeup Artist of DC, I had gotten really sick towards the end, but I was so dedicated to that project that I wasn't eating. That's what was happening. I wasn't eating, and I ended up getting really sick through the editing process. We had already shot, but through the editing process with me making the episodes. So I was literally towards the end, I was like, because we had to have them out like every other week or every week or something like that. So I'm editing every week trying to get the episodes out and stuff. And I ended up getting really sick because I was pushing myself. I was staying up to 6 o'clock in the morning, all night long trying to get the episodes done. And I was literally passing out. I got really sick to the point where I shouldn't have even been editing, but I was that dedicated to finishing.
Right.
I couldn't allow myself to mess up or to sell myself short in that situation. I just kept working at it. And even though I was passing out, it was like I pass out for an hour, then wake back up, start editing. Pass out again, start editing. And it just continued that way till I finished. And but yeah, I would definitely say that definitely speaks to my work
So
ethic.
work ethic means to you is like dedication, really being
Yeah.
dedicated to something. And I
Hmm.
think that Chadwick definitely did that with the fact that he kept pushing, and he was just in like day 5 bloods, like
Yeah.
when he was already in stage 5 of cancer.
Right.
Yeah, and you would never know that. And so, how has COVID affected your business in a positive and negative way?
Mm. Well, in a negative way, I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. I mean, you can't be really in, crowded areas. You kind of, you know, back down as far as how many people you can have in a certain location wherever you're shooting.
Correct.
Um,
Mhm.
Make sure you always have your mask on and things of that nature. And then the positive to it is really just, I feel like the positive in it is if you're an entrepreneur and you have your own business and you're doing whatever, it doesn't have to be in videography. I think the positive in it during this time is that all bets are off. Like it's just like, if you can't make it happen for yourself, then I don't feel like it's gonna happen for you because this is the time there it's nothing to wait on. Like everyone's in the house. You have an audience that is right in front of you that is at your disposal. So it's just about, taking a certain precautions and just putting that grind in and doing what you have to do. So I think the positive in it is just having the audience and more people involved and ready to see what you got, whatever it is.
Yeah, and I think a positive is also that a lot of people, by being in the house, a lot of people have reflected on their life because all people were doing was sitting there thinking about life. Every day you're watching the news, hearing about people dying. So it's like it really reminded people how precious life is. And so I know a lot of people that started businesses since COVID. Um,
Yeah.
and just, it changed their mindset on life and everything like that. And so, how do you feel being a Black man right now with everything, what just happened to Jacob Blake, George Floyd, the numerous names we can name? How do you feel being a Black man right now? Because I know there's a lot of NBA players that are upset, like LeBron's very upset. What's your take on it being a Black man?
Uh, Me as a Black man right now, 25 years old in 2020. Honestly, sometimes when I look at things, it's kind of surreal. Like I kind of can't, I have a numbness to it in a way, but that's because it's happening so much and that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be a numbness to it like, oh, I'm so used to seeing Black men getting killed by the police or dying in violent ways that I'm numb to it as a person. Like
Right.
any human being that loses their life, I mean, that's sad. I mean, that's so pretty much to answer your question, me and being a Black man in 2020, it's kind of like I'm in the middle. Like it's kind of like I want to be I am angry and upset because this keeps happening to
Right.
our people. And then also it's a slight of joy also because within these things happen, like sometimes it was like everything happens for a reason. So sadly with these deaths, like I feel like hopefully, and I'm praying hopefully that this is the last time we have to deal with this and that we've proven we've standing up enough enough is enough. Like we don't want to go through this. We are human beings. We don't deserve to be treated like this. And through their deaths, they will live forever. And then also we're using this as an example that we never need this never needs to happen again, basically.
Never needs to happen again. And so does something come over you when you get pulled over or when you see the police? Are you ever nervous about, once you're pulled over and they start walking up to that car, do you think this could be my very last moments of life just from me reaching for a brush? Or what goes through your mind in that point, being a Black man and getting pulled over? Especially if you see a different race cop from your race.
Anytime I get pulled over, I get nervous, but
Right.
make sure I got my seatbelt on, all of that. But anytime I get pulled over by the police, there is a sense of I am very nervous. I get that kind of feeling in my stomach, like kind of like when you're about to you're on a roller coaster and you're about to go down, like you're anticipating what's about to happen before the drop happens and your stomach drops. That kind of feeling. Anger comes to me a lot. I feel like, especially if I'm not doing anything, like if they pull me over for a stupid reason, a lot of anger comes out of me, but I try to hold it in and just be, as responsible and, what do you need? Registration, license, okay. All right, my wallet's in my pocket. Can I get it? Like it's literally in my left pocket. Can I get it? Yeah, you can get it. And then even when me grabbing for the wallet, I get nervous because I'm like, oh my God, I hope this don't slip.
Right.
I hope it don't slip and fall, and then they think it's something I'm reaching for something else.
Yeah, and that's sad that you have to be that nervous about just grabbing your wallet. And
Yeah.
I had more of like an entrepreneur type question because with me being an entrepreneur as well, people have asked me this question a little bit, or I see it a lot on social media. What is it like, or how is dating for you being an entrepreneur? Because a lot of people, I've seen memes where it says, if you date an entrepreneur, know that you're about to be their personal assistant. Or how is it being super busy? Because I've been in relationships where the person is super duper busy, or I'm super duper busy, and people get upset. Or how does that time work out? How do you make your entrepreneurship fit with your personal life?
I'm sorry. It's just memories I'm thinking about. Whew, okay. Well, when it comes to dating an entrepreneur, I'm gonna let you know right now, ladies. It's a very hard road. It's gonna take a whole lot of long nights, especially me in my field.
Right.
But I would say that was something that I mainly struggled with when I first started Excellence back in 2015. I think it all really comes down to scheduling.
Right.
Like, you just have to have a really good schedule of your day and your time. Just have a really good time schedule. So it's like, all right, just like anybody else when you go into work. You go to work from this time to this time. Okay, then after that, all right, I'm off. Or you have breaks in between. So it's just like you might go on a lunch break or, an hour break or however long you need to take. And, you could talk to that person, that significant other for that time, or they could wait till you get off.
Right. Have you ever...
But mainly having that time schedule, because if you don't have a time schedule in your work, you're going to end up like me or how I was, where it's like I'm working 24 hours a day. Like I don't stop, which makes it more difficult if you're trying to be in a relationship or talk to someone, because where does that other person fit in that time? And I had to learn that kind of the hard way, but hey, it was a lesson.
So have you ever experienced, outside of relationships, but let's just say friendship and family as well, have you ever experienced people, girlfriends, friends, not taking you serious because you work from home? Or thinking like how you said the clock in and clock out thing, in their head they're thinking, well, he doesn't have to clock in or clock out. I can call at any point of the day and he'll pick up the phone and we could just sit there and talk. So how do you handle that? Do you cut your phone off, put it on do not disturb?
Mainly, yeah, all of the above, all those things that you said. And when it comes to, you just got to know the difference between, it's literally the same as being at a normal job.
Right.
When you at work, you ain't supposed to have your phone on, and if you do, you have it on vibrate. You ain't supposed to be answering it. You ain't supposed to be, girl, hello? No, none of that. So it's more of like a common sense thing, but based on however you run your business is how you do it. But yes, I take all of those approaches. And honestly, back when I started, I had a huge, tremendous chip on my shoulder because I had family that didn't really, necessarily support
Right.
what I was doing at the time. It's kind of like, if you ain't got a job, you going to college, what's going on? And it's just like, well, I'm starting my own production company. It's like, okay, that's nice, but
right.
What are you doing?
Well, how did you handle that? How did you handle, especially your family, not necessarily believing in you?
It's hard to say, but I'll say it. Honestly, I had to cut them off. I'm not going to cut no cards. I literally had to. Anyone who didn't understand what I was doing at that time, I said, I have to cut them off. Any negativity, anything that wasn't positive, none of that positive energy that I was getting, I had to cut off, because at the end of the day, people don't know. Family is the closest to you sometimes. And family can be the quickest ones to doubt you as well. It's not always necessarily the friend or other people. It could be the family members. And I felt that I was getting that energy and it was affecting me. It was really affecting me. And I felt like it was tearing me down, because I love my family and I want support from my family, and everyone wants that recognition. Like, yeah, that's my nephew. Yeah, go ahead. That's my grandson or whatever. And I wasn't getting that.
Right.
So it put me in a space of, I have to prove all of them wrong.
Right.
Because they don't think that I can do it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I used that to motivate me. And that's when I went into that grind mode. That's when I started. I wasn't picking up no calls. I wasn't talking to nobody, because everybody, if you call me and be like, yo, what's going on, man? What you doing? Oh, nothing, chilling, just editing. Oh, for real? What you editing? Just this, this new project I'm working on, this documentary called Beyond the Lights, about this up and coming girl. She started her dance company back in 2009, and now she about to have her 10-year concert. Oh, if you giving me them type of vibes, like you ain't really interested, click, you gotta go. I can't talk to you, because I can't take that energy, that nonchalance. If you're not giving me, wow, when does that come out? Wow. Well, where can I find that at? Is that going to be on YouTube? Is that going to be on Vimeo? Where is that going to be at? Is that going to be on Amazon Prime?
Right.
Let me know. If you ain't giving me that type of energy, then I have to cut you off and I have to push you to the side, because I have to have tunnel vision and focus on what's in front of me and executing that to 100% and getting it done.
Even family, that's amazing. Even family had to do that. And so where do you see Excellence Productions in 5 years?
Wow, where do I see Excellent Productions in 5 years? I see Excellent Productions on, I hate comparing it. It's not comparing it, but I would say very similar. I want a situation very similar to Tyler Perry. He has his own sound stages. He has his own studio. It started when he had a smaller studio, and now he has, a bigger studio, a bigger thing of land to utilize. But I would say, very similar to Tyler Perry. I want a place where I can create anything that I want. If I want, just like he got a White House, I want the New York Monument. Yeah, I want that. Like, nothing is an obstacle when it comes to Excellent Productions. And you can come in, you could shoot television shows, you could shoot movies, you could even come, if you wanted to bring your kids to get classes or anything like that, to teach them videography or photography or different, ways to giving back to the community in that sense. It's all different things that I want to accomplish and I see in the future for myself. And just, even though I had a lot of doors closed on me and I made my own, I can't say that there weren't other people that came in my life at the time. Everyone has that person that's there to help them get to that next step. And I want to be that for the new generation and anyone who comes in contact with Excellent Productions. And
that sounds really, really good. Well, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. 5 years from now, people going to watch this interview. It's still going to be up on rollingout.com. And we're going to see Excellence Productions just like we see Tyler Perry Studios. And so can you tell everybody where to find you? Website, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you have.
Yes, you can follow me at my personal page, Braden CJ, and then also you can follow the Excellent Productions page. That's XLEN, and then Productions. Also have a website, excellentproductions.com. Basically, Excellent Productions on all social media platforms. You'll find me: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube page. You can see a whole bunch of my different work as well on the website, as well on the Instagram. I have projects, documentaries, commercials, anything that you could think of. Mainly, I've either done, and yeah.
All right, perfect. So everybody go follow Excellence Productions, search him on all platforms. And I thank you for coming on, Braden Jenkins.
Thank you for having me, Tiara Roberts.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you guys for tuning into the Area Justice Show, a segment of the Kristina Roberts Show brought to you by Rolling Out. See you guys next time.
Hello, I'm a gay African American male, and the Marine I'm dating is telling me that he's going to take his son's mother to court and try to get legal rights, basically take him from his mother. And he wants me to take the stand in court, but his mother is very close to me. Well, we've gotten close since I've met him. I don't want to do it. I don't know how to break it to him that I don't want to do it because I really like his baby's mother. I'm so stressed out. OMG. My response is, if you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do it. I don't know what the circumstances are and why he feels like he wants to fight her for legal rights, but that sounds like some issues that are between them. It's clear that you believe that she's a good mother, so I would not intervene no matter what he says. And here's the thing in life, we have to be prepared to lose some in order to gain something. So if he would be willing to break up with you or stop dating you because you come to her defense, then that means he's not the one for you in the first place. But at the bottom line is there's a child involved. And if you think that child is better off in the custody of the mother, and you feel like he's just being used as a pawn, which is the impression that I'm getting, please don't co-sign on that behavior. That child will only be young once. I'm assuming that he's allowed to see his child and, spend time with his child on a regular basis. If not, he should go to court and fight for rights to get visitation and partial custody. But please, don't do it. It's not a good idea. Thanks for writing me, and I hope you take my advice.
Good day, peeps and peepettes, and welcome to Nikita's Virtual Jukebox, where I bring you great musical talent to your digital screens. I'm your host, Nikita Tiffany, and today on my show, we have music producer extraordinaire, mix and mastering engineer, sound designer, a person who has had many placements on MTV, Spike TV, OWN, episodes of Geico, Basketball Wives, Black Ink Chicago, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, recently the NBA Cares PSA commercial, 2 movie score, we're gonna get into that. Latest release on God Complex. We're gonna get into all this, but this is no introduction, right? But I want to introduce to y'all a friend of mine, hopefully a new friend of yours, Brandon Ross, aka Plan B. What's up?
Hey, what up, Nikita? How are you, man?
How are you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm straight. No real complaints, man. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you for coming by. I know you're a very, very, very busy man. So, had to, like, Brandon, what's up? But you can't, as always, you come through. So, okay, for the people. I know y'all see everybody saying right now, what's the 1985 culture thing? They see it on me. They see it on you and in your background. So, real quick, explain to the people why we
1985 culture is just the clothing brand, which is the extension of the production company, 1985 Music. We have hoodies. I got some T-shirts available on the site right now, 1985culture.com. So, all the creatives, all the musicians, man, tap in.
Y'all heard them, tap in. I'm loving my sweatshirt just in time for the fall. It's red is popping on me with my red lipstick. I go out later and look cute. Okay, so we're gonna get right into this interview. We listed briefly all your accolades, right? I mean, you do a lot of music placement. You've been doing that for a minute. Some people just getting hip, but you've been doing it for a minute.
Yeah, man. I'm saying.
You've been doing it for a minute. So explain to the people, like, take me through your journey. How did you get started?
Well, I started very young, kind of like at the turn of when music went from analog to digital. I was actually mixing and mastering before I knew what mixing or even recording was at the time, or the art thereof. I would record some of my mother's demos in this program called Acid. That's how old I am. On a PC, and then later on in high school, I would actually record, some of my friends, like in high school, some of the students, like I would record some of their songs. They would come through the house, after school. I had my little small studio set up, and they would come record. And then, from then on, I would work with a lot of different writers and different producers, after high school. And of course, up and down the East Coast, just connecting with different artists that some of them I still work with to this day. And I've just been able to grow from there. And I, in the meantime, in between time, I was, connecting with a lot of different licensing companies, and, they help push my music to, different projects for television and film. And it's just been growing from there.
That's dope. So you mentioned you work with a lot of different artists, songwriters and stuff. You have actually worked together. Yeah, we have actually worked together. We continue to work together. We got some stuff out. We got some stuff we need to finish and get out. And working, I know for me, working with different people, sometimes you don't have a chemistry with them, and sometimes it's forced, and sometimes you have a chemistry. Thankfully, we have a chemistry, and that how we work, it just rolls off. It just happens, without any issues. It just happens. Mm-hmm. But I mean, as a producer, for you, you work with many people, so it's kind of like that might not always be the case. Yeah. And sometimes creativity don't always flow, it don't always match with other people. So tell us, what is life actually like as a producer? Because you're a full-time music producer, and what is it like? What's the creative process like?
Well, it's different with everybody. And that's funny that you asked that, like, because with COVID now, a lot of, even prior to, but more so now, I haven't been taking a lot of sessions. I've just kind of been mixing and mastering, via FaceTime and things like that. So a lot of my clients, a lot of the communication has been via FaceTime or via text and things like that. So it's this year, I haven't really, only just a couple of times I've had the chance to really sit in the studio with the artists and really create and cook up. But it's different for everybody, and I have to really adjust. I have to be a chameleon, in every aspect, because sometimes with some of my clients, I'm just producing. With some of my other clients, I'm just recording, and with others, I'm doing both. So I have to I got to adapt every time.
Well, that's a good characteristic to have. Because that's what adapting to life.
Yeah.
And adapting to different sounds and feels, because I know, you grew up in the hip hop, that's your thing, hip hop era, whatever. Yeah. I know with me, I'm more like R&B, and so it was like, okay, adapt to this thing. But it worked out. Yeah. It worked. We mixed out both our worlds together. And
yeah, for sure.
Because you was like, okay, you never done go-go records. It was like, her go-go and her R&B. We about to mix this with, with your so, but it worked out. It's kind of creating a different sound from, and that was the point intended, but a different sound from what is normally being heard.
For sure.
Yeah, you know, in the different genres that's out there, it's different from all that. It's pulling a little bit from here and there and there and there, and you get something new.
You make gumbo. That's what it is. You make gumbo.
Exactly. Okay, so I do want to get into, because lately you've been having a lot of projects going. I named your accolades in the beginning, but recently you just did you scored 2 movies, and you just did you released the album. Well, an artist that you produced released the album called God Complex.
Mm-hmm.
So briefly tell us about these 3 projects, these 2 movies and this God Complex EP.
All right. Well, I'll talk about the 2 films first. One of the films is called State of Mind. The other film is called Best of Two Evils. Both of them are available on Amazon Prime Video right now. You can go check those out. And a friend of mine he produced, he also starred in the film. He, hit me up and, asked me to, score both of his films. The Best of Two Evils, I'm actually in the very last scene of that particular joint. And that was both of those were actually really fun. I have a really close working relationship with both of the brothers that worked on both of those films. And they set me up right. And one of them was actually able to fly out here, and we were able to sit right in here and kind of put it together how they wanted it to. And that was a really fun project. God Complex, which is out right now with my brother Twan Don. That's been years in the making just for those 3 songs. And it's getting a lot of great reviews right now online, so you guys can go check that out. I produced every song on that project, fully mixed and mastered. Yeah, check them out.
Well, since you speak of God Complex, we're about to get into this video. You actually making the beat for the song Trips Up North. Yeah.
This is and I actually did that on the iPad, so it's gonna throw some people off a little bit, but y'all gonna hear the sound like, oh, this is how he getting down. So yeah, so definitely check this out. This is me making a beat for Trips Up North off of God Complex. My brother Twan Don. Tap in, check that out.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, when I first got the sample, it sounded like this. All I did was pitch it up. And then from there, I added my kick.
Only inspired by what I acquire.
And then from there, I added my snare. I wanted to sound like, a drummer was getting busy, but also staying in pocket, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to be groovy, And then from there, I started adding elements like my crashes and my rides. And from here, I kind of had the vibe set already, so added my hi-hats.
I told B all I needed was 12.
And of course, you get the toms in there. And then from there, what I did was I added this nice little funky bass. It sounded a little something like this. Yeah, so once I laid that down,
And I just care about the city, hope they running with me.
so that's what I had from there. And then also on this beat section, I added some strings, and I did those strings in Logic. And they sound a little something like
Infatuated with this
this.
life, hope I don't leave it empty.
That was Trips Up North from the EP God Complex. I actually like that. We worked together, but I never seen you I never sit around and really watch. Some stuff I get and watch, you do, but I never really, I be in my own little world. So I like how you did that. I like how you did that. It was very informative, educational, and the beat came out nice.
Thank you. I have fun doing that.
I like it. Okay, so now we get into the part of the show where I play a game with my guests. This is my favorite part of the show. Because I want to know how well you know your hip hop, you Jersey boy. So I want to know your 90s baby. I want to know how, how well you know your hip hop and stuff. So the game we are playing is called Who's That Spittin'? That's when I read you some lyrics and you tell me the artist and the song title. So are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right, now some of them are easy, some of them are hard.
Yeah.
But you should get these. So first song. And I'm not going to rap these in time because if I did, then that would be easy. The melody.
Okay. You gonna read them off to me like the little bouncy ball?
Yeah. So you ready?
Let's go.
Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. I don't know, but today seems kind of odd. No barking from the dogs, no smog. And mama cooked breakfast with no hog. I got my grub on.
Ice Cube, today was a good day.
Yeah. That was the easy one. I would have been disappointed if you didn't get that one.
No. I actually love that song. Actually, who's that put me onto that information? The sample was from the Isley Brothers, right?
Yep.
Right.
Footsteps in the dark. Okay.
Yeah.
Ready for your next one?
Let's do it.
Okay. I got this one on my trusty iPad here. Okay. This is an easy one too. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. 50-inch screen, money green, leather sofa. Got 2 rides, a limousine with a chauffeur. Phone bill about 2 G.
B.I.G. It was all a dream. Well, Juicy.
Yeah. Now, for bonus points.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to come with the sample. Where the sample come from?
I can hear the song Juicy Fruit. Juicy Fruit. I can't remember. I don't know who's by though.
That's the song. The song is Juicy Fruit by M2 Mac.
M2 Mac. Okay, all right, word.
A lot of people
I do remember that joint because I actually, what's funny is my mother used to play that song a lot, so I knew that song before I actually heard that song. So that was very interesting.
Actually, you did so good. I'm gonna give you another one.
Oh Lord, let's hear it.
I gotta give you another one. So, let me see. Pull out my trusty.
Your trusty sidekick.
My sidekick. Let's see where we at. This one should be easy too. You ready?
Let's go.
All respect to those who break their necks to keep their hoes in check. Cause on their sweater, brother majorly. I don't know why your girl keeps paging me.
Oh God. This is I Get Around by Tupac, man.
Yes. Well, that was his verse. But who was the group?
Yeah. Digital Underground.
Yes. So you killing them today.
Yo, that's crazy. That's as crazy as it sounds. That's my favorite song. Like, that's like literally one of my top 5 favorite songs. And I say top 5 because that chord progression, like literally is something that like was in my head as like a kid all the time. And when I heard it come on for like the first, when I first heard the song, I didn't know who it was or whatever. And then like, as I started to, get old, I'm like, okay, I know who the song is by. Now I know what this song is about. It's like, it was kind of me before married life.
You still here. Okay, so you mentioned real quick. You mentioned your top 5. What's your top 5 songs?
Top 5 songs. So, and then in no particular order, but I Get Around by Tupac. Sky's the Limit by Biggie. Oh man, you put me on the spot because normally I had this list ready. That's 2. Damn, you killing me right now. So High by John Legend. That's in my top 5. That was my my first dance at my wedding. My wife and I was our first dance.
Shout out to Crystal, my HU buddy. I actually met Brandon through Crystal.
Big Bison. So that's 3. Crisscross Jump and All Around the World by Jay-Z.
Wow. Okay. Those are. I wouldn't.
But the list is all over the place. But like those are songs that are part of like the soundtrack of my life. You know what I'm saying? So.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's all we have for today. But tell the people where they can find you, get some merch at. Hit us and what's coming out. What you got going on next? Let's go.
Right here, 1985music.com. You can find all of my social media handles there. At Plan B85 on Instagram. That's where you can connect with me and chop it up with me. You know what I'm saying? If you need studio time and you're in the Atlanta area, or if you're worldwide and you need mixing and mastering, holla at me. Let me take your sound to the next level, man.
And I will speak for him, vouch for him that he's fun to work with. He don't give no headache. He follow instructions well, because I don't like to deal with hard-headed people. He executes.
Oh, when you be asking, yeah, turn me up, and I'd be like, nah, I ain't turning you up. It's all good.
But no, Brandon's very professional. He's fun to work with. He's creative. He's good at what he does, and I enjoy working with him. And I'm gonna be honest and tell the truth. With some people, I wish I never worked with in my life, but he's not one of them. So look at God. But yeah, I would like to thank Brandon for coming on the show, coming to visit Nikita's Virtual Jukebox. I would like to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in to the Kristina Roberts Show, powered by Rolling Out. And let me leave y'all with this quote, as I always do. Your heart is just a beatbox for the song of your life. So follow it. We're out.
All right. That's nothing.
Bye.
Hey, come on. It's your girl, Kristina. Come on.
Say what?
Hey, oh.
That's right.
Kristina Roberts Show. Hey, it's your girl, Kristina.